What's
Nope.
good, ladies and gentlemen? Hope y'all having a wonderful day or night whenever you're tuning in, baby. Welcome back to another bitch ass episode of Nerds and Mics, fam. Yo, hope y'all are doing fantastic. Yo, we have a special guest today. Obviously, I have myself, and crew. How you doing, bro?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man. And yo, I am feeling great to introduce a very special guest, a friend of mine and a follower of mine for a while, giving me so much support and love. I thought, why not have him on the podcast because he has some great stories to share, and that is the homie like a boss. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. It's just a pleasure to be here, and I'm ready to get on this episode of Nerds and Mics. Let's go.
That is an incredible name for a podcast. Yeah, I literally I think about it, I'm like, bro, I definitely be sucking my own dick about this name of the podcast. Like Nerds and Mics. God, I'm fucking a genius. Um but you know what's so crazy? Like literally we talked about this last episode. Unfortunately it got deleted somehow, but like what we were talking about is like these crazy things that people can do. Like I was talking about how I saw some dude who like walked across all of Antarctica, or like there was this guy, like I'm not gonna lie, I saw this the other day, y'all. I saw a video of some guy explaining this dude who went on a huge like track race, and it was all in the Sahara Desert. And literally, and like if you all know what this, like literally I like he just to explain how big it is. The Sahara Desert is literally like bigger than the country of America. Like it's bigger than the United States, and it's just all like bland desert. And like literally it would get so hot out there, like the sand, if it like you had, like obviously they have hella sandstorms. If sand just like blew up on your skin, it gets so hot that it could just like rip your whole fucking skin apart. And that kind of shit just literally, it's like, bro, like just not only like try to do a track race in that, but like literally trying to imagine getting stuck in that kind of shit. It's
Yeah,
like, bro, I would like I would just go in a shack right away and be like, yo, I'm gonna murder myself. I'll see y'all later.
I feel that.
Yeah. No. I
No,
mean,
it's yeah,
the
go ahead.
it's like basically. I mean, if you think about it too, what's sand when it's really hot? It's just glass. So
Literally.
Huh.
technically, who knows how fucking hot it is out there? Like that shit's flying around. It's basically like glass. So that would make sense. Like what?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just like
So
cuts your fucking skin. Go ahead,
yeah,
boss.
I got one. So when I was overseas, oh yeah, I'm a army veteran, by the way, just
Oh,
so
let's
everybody
go.
knows. Yeah,
Go,
yeah, yeah.
baby.
So
Thank you
when
for
I
your
was
service, man.
overseas, I appreciate that, man. It was an honor to do it. So when I was overseas, we were in Kuwait for like probably like 3 or 4 months. There's this preparation phase that you have to go through. They prepare you for everything: heat, a little bit of rain, mugginess. Like you have to just go there before you actually go on mission, and your body has to adapt to the heat. The highest temperature was like 130, 135,
Jesus
adapting to this
Christ.
heat.
What?
Well, when the sand starts kicking up, like high winds, sand tornadoes, dude, like you have to wear your goggles, because if you don't, one of my
Yeah.
buddies, his name's Callahan, made a mistake in not wearing his goggles out there. And this glass, like he said, when it heats up, it's literally just like glass. His unprotected eye got hit with like three
Oh.
or four grains of sand,
Oh,
and it burned right through his sensitive. I forgot what it's like. It
oh,
right behind your pupil is like a cornea or something. It
Yeah.
attaches
Yeah.
to your
Something
vision.
like that.
It
Yeah.
burned all the way through and hit his cornea, and he ended up having to leave mission and go home because of the how hot the
oh.
sand was when it hit his unprotected eye.
Yo, was his eye like gushing blood?
It wasn't gushing blood. It swelled up really bad. His eyelid, because your natural instinct when you get hit in the eye is to shut your eye. So his
Right, right.
eye literally swelled shut. Like his eyelid covered itself and swelled up to about the size of a baseball underneath his eye, or
He was
underneath his eye.
literally walking
Holy
around like this with
shit.
Yeah,
one eye.
literally just like that, like one eye. And
Oh my
after that,
God.
after that, we had to make sure to wear our PPE everywhere we went. PPE is personal protective equipment, and it sucks, but there's these ponchos that are literally like 3 inches thick plastic. You put those on, and when the sandstorms happen, to protect your any like exposed skin. And like some people's ponchos were getting like burn holes in them and stuff from the sand hitting it. It was crazy, dude. That
What
place
the
was
fuck?
hell.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
That
literally
is
sounds like hell. What the
insane.
fuck?
it was crazy, man. Crazy stuff.
And where what you said that where was this?
Kuwait. It's in Afghanistan, but it's like a non-war zone where we were stationed at. It's like a little military base right outside of Afghanistan. And that's the airport. That's like where I actually got buddies over there right now, getting ready to move into I think Syria. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're pushing
Okay.
in from. They're starting in Kuwait. They moved over to Iraq because Iraq is an old war zone, and we still got guys there preparing to go into Syria. And then, but yeah, it's crazy. And then like the base right outside of Afghanistan was crap, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But when we were there, there was we were relieving a bunch of Marines, and these Marines were just leaving like boxes of like grenades and stuff like just in the sand because it got so hot that they were scared to go touch the boxes because they didn't know if the explosives were gonna go off.
Oh my God.
Ooh, yeah, nah, like yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, they call it EOD to they had to call it EOD to get rid of these boxes of grenades and ammo because of how hot
Wow.
it was.
Holy
Crazy.
shit.
You know, like
Yeah,
if the grenades get hot enough, they could totally blow up, right?
Yeah.
it's like putting a live round in a fire, man. Eventually, it's just it's gonna combust under itself,
No shit.
and it's nuts.
That is insane. I damn man. I'm not okay. Is that like is that probably the worst like at least weather phenomenon that you had to encounter when you were in the army?
I never knew that sand could make tornadoes. Literally, that's the craziest thing we've ever seen.
Oh shit. Dude.
A sandstorm with spiraling winds. It was nuts, dude. It literally looked like a tornado, but it was just sand.
Like since it's hot, if you go in that tornado, your skin is gonna get fucking ripped apart, right?
Yeah, it's hot, man. It's like my man said, it's literally just like glass. Just
Yeah.
like you put on like your little face cover, like it's almost like a COVID mask, but you just pull it up. It's like a ball of lava. Pull it up over your face, put your goggles on, and if you're on post, like if you're like in a guard tower or something, you just hunker down with your boy and just pray to God.
Damn.
That is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't mean to interrupt again, but there's this other time a buddy.
No, man. Like, I'm just gonna say this straight up.
Yeah.
As a guest, and it's because you literally were in the army, bro. I'm sure all of our listeners would be so fucking entertained by these stories. So please
Yeah.
go on, man.
Did you know that you could cook? Did you know you could cook an egg on the hood of a car?
Well,
Not the hood, but
like
I knew you could cook it on the ground.
when it's really hot, yeah, right? Damn.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, we took we took a couple eggs from the chow hall and we took them. We were like, dude, I bet you $10 we can make a breakfast better than what they're serving at the chow hall. So we took like
Oh my god.
cracked them on the hood of our Humvee and just let them sit in the sun, dude. They were done in like 5 minutes, and there were some pretty fire eggs. We ate them afterwards too.
Nice,
Wow,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yo, hey,
That's
bro, like,
insane.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You
Like-
know what I mean?
At least I can
That's-
say that compares to like over there would probably be California out in the desert, like high noon,
Oh yeah.
like 120.
Really?
Yeah, 115, 120 out there. Like that's,
Okay.
and then Arizona maybe because Arizona gets pretty hot.
Well, I mean, I've experienced that in Vegas
Nevada,
for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like literally
Yeah, Vegas.
the one time I
Yeah.
took a road trip out there, my air conditioning died in the desert, and there was 4
I
of
would
us in a car. Oh man.
Shirtless, man. Fuck all that.
Yeah. Well.
Dude, especially for my skin tone, man. If I went out there with that kind of heat and no AC, oh, bro, I would could never.
Well,
I would
Dude,
just be like trying to go home as soon as
Probably
possible.
up, dude.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
I would literally look like a fucking burnt marshmallow. That's fucking insane, man. Wow.
And also, would that be the whole time too? When it would be like sandstorming, or would that be like just like when it was sandstorming? That's when it would be like that bad.
So it just depends on the day. Like early in the mornings was like the best time. So like one of the shitty parts about it was like you'd walk because you had to walk everywhere. You walk to take a shower, and by the time you were walking back to go to bed, you'd be just drenched in sweat again because of how
Oh,
dude. It was like you go to the shower to like feel clean, and by the time you walk back, like you're in like your PT shorts and your like army green shirt, and it's just like dude, I'm already sweating again. Like this is
God.
miserable.
So basically, you only go out there just to pretty much basically just wash and like not smell like shitty. But then
Yeah,
it's like
pretty
but you
much.
don't really, yeah.
Dude,
But
when
you pretty
you're
much
when
are
you
like, yeah.
yeah, so like the smell of like grown men body odor is just like embedded in my brain just because like dude, there's no amount of deodorant that can cover up 160 men sleeping in like 3 different barracks, and like you go over there because you got homies in different barracks, you go over there to kick it, and like it's not nobody's fault, dude. Like we like spray down like everything with Axe body spray, like cleaner and stuff, but like there's a point where it's just like, dude, like we're using too much chemicals. Like it's and if you use a lot of chemicals, it gets hard to breathe. You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
So
almost
it's
getting
like,
dangerous.
yeah, it's like, dude, like at certain points, it's just like, yo, eventually you're just like, you know, it is what it is. Like everybody smells like hot ass, so you might as well
Yeah.
just make do with what's best.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, if that happens, I guess I'd recommend trying a different brand. You know, try
Yeah.
Old Spice or some shit.
Nah, dude, Old Spice, Degree, freaking-
maybe Old Spice or Degree would work. You never know.
Yeah, we used Degree. One of my buddies, he was out in the field. They sent him home because like the smell of his body was giving away their positions and shit. Like it was crazy. Yeah,
Damn. So
Yeah,
fragranty,
real
bro.
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, it's so funny. It's like, yo, if I smell bad enough, they might give away my fucking position.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
how you know that literally you've hit the point of just like literal damn near death
Yeah.
of stench.
dude.
That
Like
is
people
insane.
like towards the end were just like burning their uniforms. They were like, dude, like I'm not taking this back. It smells too bad. There's like so much sweat and just
Damn.
dirt built up in this. Like I'm not taking this back.
There's no
CIF can
need.
give me, yeah, CIF, the issuing facility that gives my uniforms can just give me brand new ones. So they just burn it. They throw it in the burn pit and then just go
Wow.
home.
Okay, yeah. No,
Oh my
makes sense.
god.
Yeah, dude. And like you
I had to
wouldn't
burn
believe-
my outfit because it smelled that bad. Jesus
But
Christ.
think about it too. Like you only have probably like one, right? The entire time, so that like
I
everything.
think it's before we went, it was 4, but there's
4?
5 days. Yeah, there's 5 days in a week. So by the time we got to Friday, you're wearing that first one. And laundry only happened like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks.
So it's
Yeah.
like building up, and then it just
Yeah.
like
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. And then like the shower rooms were ridiculous, man. Like this is gonna sound pretty
Yeah,
bad.
like, how did the shower
God.
process work
Dude,
out
it's
there?
literally
bro? How
like
did that work?
like a prison shower, bro. Like just 80, like there's like 12 shower heads, no shower curtains. Like you like
oh
you
shit.
just nothing but swinging dicks, bro. When you walk in there, you just walk in
Wow.
there, shower, and walk out, bro.
Nice.
So pretty much, yeah. If you take a shower over there, everyone there is getting a surprise. They didn't expect to
Yeah,
get.
Try and
dude,
get a
everybody-
corner one, you know, like
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
it's like when somebody was calling home to talk to their girl, like, "Oh yeah, do you miss Big Daddy?" Like, no, bro, you're lying. You're not Big Daddy.
Dude, that'd be so funny because you're trying to like cover your dick to the dude
Yeah.
inside. You're also trying to wash yourself with one hand. Like,
at
oh,
that
that's
point you
so
just gotta
funny.
do it, you know. You can't be
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've probably seen more wieners than Doctor, bro. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah,
Oh my god, it's
Nice.
fucking hilarious.
shower situation. That's one thing I don't miss, dude. I'll take a shower curtain in my house over that any day.
Yeah.
True.
Hey, well, at least now you know there's definitely no surprises wherever you go. So
Yeah, word.
Yeah. No, that is
No,
also
and then
true.
like I'll go to the gym or like the YMCA, and like they have like showers like that, and dudes will like be like trying to like hide behind their towels and shit, and I'll just walk in there like next week. I don't care, man. Like
oh yeah.
it gets to a point like I'm never gonna see this guy again. Like let me
Yeah.
just fucking go
It's
shower.
always
Doesn't
one
faze
thing
you.
that pissed me off about. That's always one thing that pissed me off about especially the YMCA was the worst. I
Yeah.
remember I was like 18, and the school I went to, literally, it's like we actually went to school if you like did online schooling. They actually had a bus that took you from our high school to the YMCA in the morning, and you actually did like school upstairs at the YMCA, and they had a whole process where you did it on your laptop because everybody like just gave us our own laptops, and at this school, you literally had a free pass to like go do whatever you want at the YMCA. And the amount of times I would just go walk in the locker room to like, just like go to the bathroom or something. And all the fucking like 80 to 85-year-old dudes just walking in there with fucking butt ass naked, like fucking like dude, it's shit that like I don't even want to go in description for for the viewers of this podcast, but like terrible yeah, exactly, crew, yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, that kind of shit always pissed me off. I would get so mad. I would be like, dude, like put your fucking dick away.
You know,
like,
again, like like Boss said, like, you know, generally you're just there, you don't care. Like, you know, same with them. They're old enough where they're just like,
I care.
I think Brad,
care.
Brad, at a certain point after the first time when you walk in, you should assume when you go back the second time it's gonna be there.
Well, you know, I assume people should have learned for my benefit. You know, you can only hope, man. You can only hope, crew. You can only hope.
Yeah, that was like one thing in like high school, like and on the wrestling team, like it was like they had open showers or whatever, but like, you know, I see these dudes like in my classes and like all this other stuff, and I'm like, yeah, like we'd have 2 wrestling practices. We'd have one in the morning, one at night. I'm just like, dude, I'm not trying to freaking smell like butthole the whole time I'm sitting in. And like there was some cute girls in my classes, so like I'm like not trying to sit them smell like beef, like, you know, whatever. And then like I'd be the one in the shower first, and then everybody else would be like all like trying to hide. I'm like, dude, I'm not looking at your Johnson, bro. Let's just like butt and then go to class, bro. Like let's just get it over with.
You're just trying to shower.
Exactly.
Yeah, literally. Like people just made it like a big ass deal, and I'm just like, whatever, dude. Like it is what it is. I don't like smelling like butt on my way to class, so I go in the shower and just do my business and bounce.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about this the other day, man, where it's like, you know, I heard this on a podcast. It's like, you gotta imagine, because like literally I was talking to my grandparents as well, and they were like telling me like how back in like the 50s and shit, how like literally everyone had a fucking cigarette in their hand. And I'm like, bro, you gotta imagine how much everything must have just stank from like till like 1979 or some shit. Like the whole fucking world just reeked of like smoke and fucking BO. Like they probably they didn't make that good of soap back then. Like the whole world must have just fucking stank. Like, oh my god.
Imagine like being back in the cowboy days when them dudes didn't even have
god.
Like this.
Dude,
like, especially like if like you walk inside and like, yo, the fucking cowboys taking off their boots, like there's not good left laundry, so everybody's fucking feet stank and shit like that. Like,
well, like I don't even understand how like people survive back then, honestly, bro. Like they're like without like medicine and shit. Like I don't even, bro. Like especially, dude. Like I think during the Civil War, bro, people would fucking die from like losing like a fucking like finger or something, you know? Because it's like that is pretty significant. I mean, I guess it like for blood loss, but like also you get gangrene and other shit. You get fucking like infections. You get like, so it's like, how did people survive back then? Like they're
especially man, like there was no. It's like, you know, now obviously nowadays we're like very like spoiled with not only the amount of modern medicine, but also think about how it's like back then. There's no like pavement. It's all just like dirt roads. So can you imagine like all the kind of shit they must get in their wounds and shit like that?
Yeah. Real man. All right, so I got one thing to add. I don't know if I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but it's a movie based on World War I that kind of relates to this topic of like diseases and like injuries and stuff like that, and like what these people had to go through. If you watch the movie 1917, it's about World War, and there's a scene. It's a really impacting, powerful scene. It's these 2 privates got a mission to go like give this letter to a general that's on like the front line to Britain and stuff. Well, on their way there, they're traveling through like barbed wire and dead bodies and like mortar holes and like all this other stuff, booby traps. There's a really powerful scene where they get shot at by a sniper. They go to like take cover in this hole, and the one dude starts falling, and he has no choice but to grab onto some bloody like sharp razor wire to keep himself from falling in the hole. So he's holding himself there like by his hand, and this razor wire is just torn his hand open. And then his buddy comes running to try to clear the sniper fire, jumps into his hole, knocks him down into the hole, and then they're both just there, and then he falls back and tries to catch himself, and his hand just slides right into a dead body's rib cage with his open into a dead body. And by the time he gets to like his final minute, because he ends up making it, didn't mean to spoil it for anybody, but he ends up making it and ends up like having to get treated for like I think like some type of blood infection. Yeah, like and like dude, trying to get treated for a blood infection back in them days when like their medicine wasn't very good and like they didn't have syringes to like inject and stuff. Like, oh my god, dude, I'm just glad I'm in the military now, not back then.
Oh yeah,
because back dudes were built different, bro. You want to talk about built different? Them guys were built different.
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
It's insane, like, yeah, just like an amount. Or like, dude, even think about how it's like insane to like so I think about this all the time. It's so crazy to think like how much shit has evolved to kill each other. Like it's like think about how it's like back think about how it's like back in the Revolutionary War, how it's like literally, bro, they had to like load up muskets and shit like that, and it took like 30 years to like load up a gun, and then it's like now. Yeah, and like nowadays we have like we can like like fucking AKs and like literally anything you could think of, and it's just like like nukes. Literally like that. Yeah, bro, it's like now it's like one nuclear bomb will end everything.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean?
They're literally making a movie about the what is it, the first nuke, whatever, Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah,
dude, and that shit is insane. He literally knew though when he was making it that like he was like I think he said like he's like I'm death incarnate or something, like I'm the destroyer of worlds, or like this is like he knew that shit would just like fuck people up, you know?
Yeah.
And you know around the time go ahead, boss, my bad, bro.
I'm just saying, dude, what's crazy is that like to make a nuke, it really does not take much. Like it's literally just some, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's just like some metal that mixes with like some kind of powder and creates a big enough like thermal charge that it can like just annihilate everything. It's just a bunch of like chemicals and powder mixed, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you need some sort of radiation as well, I believe.
Yeah,
like,
like
I don't know how to fucking make a plutonium, I believe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yo, crew, can you teach me how to make a nuke, man?
Yeah, no, but it is. I mean, it is just a giant explosion, like literally. Yeah,
it's just crazy how stuff so small that we could use every day can just become something of mass destruction. You know.
No. It's not just like a big explosion. It's like the biggest explosion we've ever made in the history of like war. Yeah, it's like literally. I could be wrong, but I think like I looked at like when you drop a nuke, it's like the radius of how far it can go is like 70 miles or some shit like that.
Yeah. And that's just the explosion part.
There's an EMP as well, I believe, that like goes off before.
Yeah, it kills.
It's like, bro,
kills it kills everything within a 50-mile radius, and then everything after that is just burning from radiation, and your skin's melting off, and it's dirty things, man. Dirty
so
stuff.
Insane, man.
We dropped 2 on Japan.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say like when they made a book about, or sorry, when you're saying they're making a movie about that, like when was that bomb dropped? Do you know what the year was when they dropped it?
1945, right? Yeah, when we
was that the one on Hiroshima?
Yeah, and then Nagasaki was after that.
Okay.
But yeah, we killed like a lot. Civilians.
It was terrible.
I'm honestly surprised that they can like live there after like the radiation and everything. Like I guess maybe it's different than like Chernobyl or something like that.
That was a nuclear reactor meltdown.
Exactly. Because I know that for that people can't, like, it's not livable. Like nothing can live there for thousands of years, or like maybe even.
Where is this?
Bro, you never heard of Chernobyl, bro? Oh shit!
I've heard of the name, but I didn't know what happened there. What happened?
It was like in the 80s. It was a reactor. There was a Russian town or something. They had a bunch of nuclear reactors being powered there. One of them had some sort of difficulty, malfunctioned overnight, and they basically had to evacuate everybody out of there. And it's been abandoned since then. And people will go back occasionally to check it out. It's kind of like abandoned, it's just like abandoned, it's an abandoned city, So
wow,
it's crazy, dude. Like there's So like it's an abandoned city, but there was rumors that people didn't want to leave. So it's rumored that there are people over there that are suffering from radiation sickness that never left. And like they made a whole movie about it. Like it was just,
Chernobyl Diaries or
that
the
was a science fiction movie, but
yeah.
there's been people who have been there and experienced paranormal and crazy things that are unexplainable. But
Yeah.
I knew a girl. She was a foreign exchange student. She wanted to come here get her citizenship, so she joined the military. She was from Ukraine, or she was from Russia, lived in Ukraine, but she showed us pictures on her phone of when her because like you can't go to the town directly because there's still a lot of radiation, but they have this tour bus that takes you around the city. And dude, there's like fairs that like there's Ferris wheels, there's like apartment buildings and everything that are just, and like it's so quiet. Like there's like live bears walking through the town. Like it's nuts, dude. It's literally just an abandoned town.
And
Like,
I think one of the animals there are also like they're born with like birth defects and everything.
yeah, crazy, dude. Nuts.
Terrifying. I'm
Literally.
curious, boss, do you believe in ghosts, man?
100%, man.
100%. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know about like woo like scary ghosts, but I do believe that there are people's spirits that are trapped like in places, and
Oh yeah.
you know that, and sometimes they get lost on the way to the other side, man. Like I do believe that.
Like I could share one thing. My dad, because obviously I grew up in Las Vegas, so like my dad on the way back home from I think it was, have you guys ever heard of that? I mean, I know you've heard of it, crew, but like boss, have you ever heard of that event called Burning Man?
In Vegas?
It's in
It's in, like, a
Nevada. It's not
desert.
in
Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah.
It's in like Carson City.
No, I haven't. And this sounds interesting though. What is it?
It's literally like the biggest music festival in the
You
entire
have
world.
to have a lot of money to go, really, too.
Yeah, like the ticket. Well, yeah. I mean, it lasts like 7 days, and you're there. I think it's like $500 a ticket or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But
maybe
anyway,
more.
yeah, probably. Anyway,
Probably.
I don't want to get too off topic, but what I was gonna get at is that like yeah, on the way home from that, we were driving through this abandoned city because obviously like Nevada, their like whole like history goes way back,
Yeah.
and there was apparently my dad drove us to this through this abandoned like old western kind of town,
Ghost town.
and yeah, pretty much. And so literally it was there was this like building that was all boarded up. It had like caution tape all over it, and my dad literally claims that like this is one of the most haunted buildings in America, because apparently the whole story is some little girl got like trampled by a stagecoach back in like the 1800s.
Damn.
And people who like go to like check it out just to make sure everything's okay and no one's no like homeless people are sleeping there or some shit.
Right.
They always go there, and they say they can always hear like someone walking up and down the staircase.
Damn. That's
I mean, that's some crazy shit. But I don't know, man. I mean, I think about shit like that. You know, what I mean, like literally, that's kind of like I've trained myself to not watch a really scary movie. Like if I'm like all alone and it's like super fucking dark out and it's like 2 in the morning or some shit. And if I try to go to bed and then like if I turn off all the lights and if I hear some noise behind me, I'll be like fucking like what the fuck was that? What the fuck's like? I mean, I'll be fucking like sweating my tits off out here. You know what I mean? So it's like that. It's insane, man. You know, like that kind of shit is crazy.
Yeah, for real, man. One of my buddies was dating a girl at the time, and this house that they used to live in, her mom bought, was used to be a funeral parlor, like a place where they did like the processing of the bodies before.
What a place for ghosts.
Yeah. So they ended up living there for a while, and they called in, and like certain things started happening, like little things here and there, and they wanted me to go over there and like hang out and stuff, and I was like, nah, man, I just get bad vibes from that place. Like, you know, when you're a kid and you hear certain things, like it's common sense not to go there, right?
Yeah.
So I was how old was I? Probably like 15 or whatever. And my mom pulled me into the room and was like, "You never went over there with them, did you?" And I was like, "No, why?" She was like, "Well, they got a ghost hunter team in their house right now." Well, let's just say that this ghost hunting team went in there and some really wicked stuff started happening. They didn't even stay to finish the job. They ended up leaving.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it was wicked, dude. Like some crazy stuff. And that was here in Michigan, Brad. That was here in Michigan.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was I think it was in like Mason or something like that. Mason, Michigan.
That's another thing I gotta shout out, man. Yo, Boss is also from Michigan, man. Yo, fucking,
Yes, sir.
yo,
Yes,
we're
sir.
proving it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Ghosts are real. They're real. They are real.
Yeah,
100% believe. Like, okay, Boss, I'm curious. Do you also believe in aliens, man?
dude, so I am kind of a nerd, dude. I believe in a lot
We
of
all are.
and like like the whole alien concept. There is too much in this galaxy, and then like, dude, the universe is forever expanding, right? It would be a damn shame if we were the only life form within the
Yes.
billions and billions of
100%.
It'd be
galaxies.
very boring.
Like, dude, like I know we're not supposed to talk about it, but I would really love to know what really happened, why we need an Area 51, what they like, what was all going on. I wish that stuff was made public just so we could know what really happened.
Yeah, because like I don't know if you have been, but since you are in the army, like you don't have to say if you've been there or not, because I know you. If you, I know people who have been there,
Brad, he
they
would
are not
even
permitted
able to tell us anything
Yeah.
if he was even remotely, because like, bro, like if I can't even fucking talk about shit what I work on when I work in the film industry, to like think about that to the extent of the fucking army,
It's insane. Like, bro, I'm like they literally. I'm not gonna lie. I saw like a post the other day, and like, bro, there's like from some. I think it was like a long time ago when some guy tried to sneak into Area 51. I'm like, dude, they have snipers there 24/7. They can legally kill you and shoot your fucking like head off, and no one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah, no, not only that, dude, they'll shoot your head off and probably figure out a way to bring you back.
Why are you? First of all, why are you sneaking into Area 51? You know.
Yeah, no, to answer your question, no, I've never been to Area 51, but I remember a couple of years back when they had like everybody trying to storm the gates of Area 51, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they can't stop all of us at once." And then, dude, you had people from all around the country like going to the front gates of Area 51. I thought that was pretty wild, dude, because like literally they could have called like their security team and opened fire on all of those people, and just they would have gotten away with it. Like, it's crazy because like it's just a top secret place, and like to get in there, like there's people who have talked about it like afterwards, and all of a sudden they come up missing or they die, or like it's like it's
100%.
Like,
just
dude,
don't go
honestly,
fucking around over there, just don't. It's an area. It's just off limits. Just don't, you don't gotta question it.
Well, like, yo, crew, that's the thing, man. Some people just don't give a shit. They really don't, man.
I mean,
you're playing with your life at that point.
Yeah, exactly. They don't give a shit about their lives,
Yeah, you're playing with your life at that point, and like, I don't know about you, but I like living. I like my video games. I'm good. I'll sit here. I'm not. I'll watch you guys go storm the gate. Though. Go ahead. Yeah, for real. I'll watch you guys storm the gate.
The reason I ask about like aliens and shit like that is because like I talk about this all the time, and I'm so interested in this kind of shit where it's like I am 100% believer in the multiverse theory, and how it's like you think about how it's like there's like our galaxy, which is already big enough, and we have like hundreds of millions of planets just in our Milky Way, and then outside the Milky Way there's hundreds of billions of galaxies and hundreds of billions of black holes, and inside those black holes there might be even more galaxies with hundreds of billions of more black holes, and outside that just like it's fractal, and it's like impossible for you to even conceive.
Infinity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. My buddy actually showed me this app. It basically shows
my Discord crashed for a second there.
Oh, okay.
We're back though.
Are you good?
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, so you like pick and choose where you want to go, and then like you can like zoom in to like Earth and like see what's all around the planet, and then you can zoom all the way out and it'll show you like our Milky Way, and like you can zoom in and see like certain stars that we've like identified, and like you can keep zooming out and it'll take you to the Milky Way, and then you keep zooming out after that and it takes you out to like Nexus, which is the next universe next to ours, and then you just keep it just shows you how small we really are, dude. And like the technology we have, like that we can't even like travel into that yet, like dude, it's just crazy to think that we're
Like,
the only people on this on like in our universe. You know, it's just impossible. There's no way that it's just us.
Right, and it's like, boss, you know, like I think about this all the time, and like I saw this picture on I don't know if it was like, you know how you click on Google and it shows you like all the news of Google through the feed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I saw a picture and it was taken by like it's like some camera that's literally the farthest man-made object away from Earth, and it was a picture and it literally looked like a tiny little speck, and that little speck was Earth. And I'm like, that is literally probably the best picture that anyone's ever seen, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like to break it, it's kind of hard to grasp what I'm talking about, but like just think about it like this, where it's like every single person that's ever existed, every ruler, every villain, every single person you've ever known, everything that you've ever known about your entire life lived and existed on that tiny little speck of dust in a huge, like, crazy universe. Like, it's insane to think about.
Like, yeah, it's just you also got to think, man, like if we perfected space travel to where we could travel in between universes, dude, like that would be so crazy. Like we haven't even perfected being able to explore what's here, let alone what's going on out there. You know what I mean? Like we've only explored like I think 15% of Earth's oceans because the water just goes so deep. Like what's down there living under that billions of pounds of pressure under the water isn't from when the universe was all connected. You know what I mean? Like
it blows my mind, man.
It's crazy.
No, that is insane. Also, they sent that shit out, that the satellite you were talking about, the Voyager 1 is what it's called. They sent that out 20 years ago, or 25 years ago today. Or, sorry, February 17th, 1998 is when they sent it out. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Little and I think 20 years.
And I could be wrong, but I think it's literally like 13 light years away or some shit like that.
14 billion miles away.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And like also, yeah, I think about this, man. Like this might be a crazy thing. Maybe I'm literally just talking out of my ass when I think about this, but like people look at me that I'm crazy, that I'm thinking like, yo, I think time travel could really happen. But this is why I'm gonna say this. The reason why I think it's possible is because like think about how it's like, you know, how like the speed of light. Because the whole theory is we need to make something faster than the speed of light to be able to travel either forward or back in time. Now, I don't know how to like necessarily like I don't know how we can make something like that, but like kind of think about how it's like the speed of a light bulb, which is like, you know, how they develop the speed of light. Like if we made something like that back in the 1800s, before there was even the first cell phone, and now we can literally do more on our cell phones than most computers. Like if we could do that almost over 200 years ago, why is it so far-fetched to think that we can make something now just that goes a little bit faster?
Yeah, have you heard? Yeah, for real. No, 100%. Have you heard of the time travelers theory?
I haven't.
So, this is gonna make me sound like kind of like crazy, but
you're on a podcast called Nerds and Mics, man. Nothing's crazy here.
So, the time travelers theory, it actually started back in I think the 80s or the early like 90s or whatever. But if you go on Joe Rogan's podcast and listen to the episode where he was on there with Mike Tyson, there is a photo from one of Mike Tyson's fights where somebody appears to have what is a smartphone back when smartphones were not invented. If you can fact check this, you can actually go on there and Google the time traveler's photo from Mike Tyson's fight, and it appears that there's some Asian guy with a smartphone recording the fight, and then in the next picture he's like walking out somewhere, and then nobody knows what happened to him.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I've seen pictures of like time travelers before. I've never seen this photo though. This is interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I think about it like this. It's like, people think that we have insane technology, like, in America or whatever, but it's like,
yeah,
bro, in Japan, they're literally living in the future. They have like robots to fucking do whatever they need to do and shit like that. Like, they literally have art. Like, if anyone was gonna perfect time travel or anything like that, that seems like totally out of this world, I could definitely see it being them first, 100%.
yeah. So I don't know if I can do this, but I just pulled up the picture and I dropped it in the Discord. But
Love
yeah, you can check it out. But this is from Mike Tyson's fight back in, I think it was, oh, I'm sorry, it was the 90s. It was 1995, and it looks like this dude is holding a Samsung Galaxy. That's what
Really?
yeah, that's what it says in the description. So
Okay.
I'm gonna drop it in the Discord right now so you guys can check it out.
Yeah,
But
That's insane.
dude, it's just wicked, man. Like, you never know what like, you never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe it's possible, bro. I believe that it's possible. Okay, let me see. Wow, bro, that really does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the picture.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the
it
picture.
really does, man. And yeah, that's like prime Tyson right there.
Yeah. So, and even Mike Tyson, even Joe Rogan, they were smoking weed or whatever, but he was just like, so that time, he's like the time travelers theory. He was like, yeah, man. He's like, I don't know how to explain that. He's like, nobody had phones like that back when I was like, excuse me, let me do it on
Yeah,
my voice. Nobody had phones like that when I was around Joe Rogan. Like,
exactly. Like,
you
hi,
know,
this is
like,
Mike Tyson.
yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Hi, this is Mike Tyson. I'm going to Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm gonna get some chicken and some slaw. I want slaw, lots of slaw. No, yeah. Like, bro, no, it just like it blows my. Okay, like, yo, if you guys could, would you travel to like a whole would you travel to a whole nother universe? Like, okay, you know how the whole like thing we talked about before, crew, like if you could freeze your body and go in the future, would you freeze your body and go to a whole nother universe? Would you do that?
And I don't know about that one, to be honest.
I
Maybe,
I
mean,
don't.
that's just as risky as going into the future, though. You know, I feel like.
yeah,
I
dude.
I know, man, but it's like I don't know, man. Like like, because if they have it right, you could be one of the only few people to ever see that, and you could literally come back and be like, hey, there actually is a whole nother
Oh wait, so
universe.
you can come back? Okay, I thought it was
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
one way trip.
Yeah, one-way trip.
No, it's not one way. No.
Yeah, go there and come back, most definitely. But if it's a one-way trip, I don't know, dude, because like you got to think like everything. Like by the time you're done, everything you know and love from like back when you were there, like is probably gonna be
Right.
dead and gone. You know what I mean? So like,
Bro, it's so crazy to think about. Like, I can't. I not only imagine what a whole other planet would be like. That, like, for example, like obviously it's impossible for us to go to like Venus or Jupiter because the pressure is so crazy. You would
yeah,
literally feel like I just bit my fucking tongue. But it's like it's
Yeah.
literally like it's like you literally are getting crushed down further and down because the pressure is that insane. It'd be
yeah,
like literally if you were like someone was trying to hold up like 10,000 pounds, you just keep getting crushed slowly and slowly.
yeah,
But it's like I can't even imagine what that kind of shit would be like being on there, let alone like thinking like, dude, what could a whole nother universe entail? You know
yeah.
what
No,
I mean?
yeah. Do you guys like animated shorts, like animated like short videos?
Uh,
Sure.
yeah,
Have you ever heard of Love, Death, Robots?
that does sound
I've not.
familiar.
So it's a Netflix series that some guy who never got signed to a professional like animation team just started doing his own animations. There's one that's called The Helping Hand, and it's about this lady who's an astronaut, and she's going out and like changing batteries on the International Space Station and stuff. It's animated, you know. It's just like, you know, just make
Oh,
believe.
it's
But
like claymation. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh
But
shit, that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it looks almost like realistic, right? And there's a part, back to what you were saying about pressure. There's a part where she, you know what? I don't even want to spoil it. I want you guys to watch it. But if
I'll definitely
like,
check this out.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
let's just say like
Um,
pressure part though, you're 100% correct because
yeah.
her she has to like basically like, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. I want you guys to watch it.
Oh,
But yeah,
dude, yeah, bro. This is a lot of like good people fucking made this shit, bro. Holy fuck! How have I not seen this? Wow. Okay, good shit.
Love Death Robots, man. Check that out, and then shout out.
I mean, I like. I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen. I might just watch an episode after this podcast.
Watch A Helping Hand, and then Shapeshifters. Those are two of my favorite ones, dude. Check those ones out.
Oh, I gotta be honest, man. Another thing you brought up, bro, the whole ocean thing. I talk about that a shit ton as well, because it's like, isn't it crazy to think, like, dude, I literally saw a video and it was talking. I don't know who made it, but it was a science like YouTube channel, and it was talking about the ocean. It's titled "The Ocean is Way Deeper Than You Think."
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if you guys ever seen that? But it literally he explains, like, it's only like 10 minutes or something like that, and like explains every single like level. Once you get deeper and deeper, like not only does the pressure get more, but I think it's around like 1,000 feet or some shit. Literally the light from the surface can't reach beyond that point, so the rest of the ocean, it's totally pitch black, it's totally dark, you can't see anything. And it's not only insane to think that like there is like down there, like there could be like shit we haven't even discovered yet, because I think it's like only 5% of the world's ocean is accurately mapped. So there's 95%, almost 100% of the ocean that we have no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah, and you can't even go down that deep because of how much water pressure. Like, like going in a tub and then having a car dropped on top of you. Like,
yeah. Like they were literally explaining that I think it's like the deepest like that anyone's ever gotten to the bottom of the ocean is like 10,000 kilometers or some shit like that, and it was back in like the 60s, and it took it just to think about how deep that is down. Everybody listening, it literally took them that's taller up than Mount Everest, to like put in perspective. And it's like it took them 6 hours to finally get down to that level, and they only stayed for like 15-20 minutes before windows started to crack and they had to go up right away.
Yeah, dude, it's honestly just crazy and amazing. It's crazy, amazing, and scary to think of like the possibilities of what's all going on down there.
And that freaks me out.
That's in like our backyards, dude. Like imagine like a different planet with the same thing, just like everything's twice as big. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to think about, man. For real,
fucking insane. It blows my mind, because it's like
is the average doesn't even think like. Oh, I'm sorry. My thing's kind of cutting in and out. Are you guys there?
No, yeah, we're here. I was just saying, go ahead. I was cutting you off.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I was just saying, like, just think about it, dude. Like, the average person doesn't even think about stuff like this.
No. And it's like, people always and I always think like, talking about like multi-universes, talking about like what could be in the ocean, like that kind of shit. You don't really have to be into science to really be like, oh, I find it, like, that's a topic that literally I think can intrigue everybody. Because it's like, dude, think about it. How like, Elon Musk is planning this whole thing. Like, oh, we could be on Mars in like 30 years. Like, think about it, man. Like, literally in 30 years, you could literally be not even on Earth. You could literally be on a place that you haven't lived your entire life. Like, that kind of shit is insane to think about.
I think we're just starting to go back to the moon right now too. I think we're working on that. So colony on the moon as well or something.
Yeah, dude. I mean, what kept them from going back? You never know what they seen up there.
Oh, interesting. Something you don't know you want to tell us?
Yo, boss, what do you know over there, man? Is there like...
No.
Do I need to go do some exploring over there in Lansing?
Like, just think about it, man. Like, they went there once, and then they never went back. What kept them from going back? You never know.
I mean,
it could be something they seen
happened. Right. I wonder if something happened during that trip that kind of freaked them out, because maybe the thought of like, oh, what if I can't get back home or something like that?
Like, there's... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just like saying, like, it's like, yeah, who fucking knows? I mean, obviously, like, it's probably the scariest feeling ever because it's like at that point you're the furthest anyone's ever been from anybody, and it's
Yeah,
like think about like oh my god, like literally if we like something happened to the ship or like something happened we can't connect to NASA, like what are you
yeah,
gonna do? You're totally you're literally not even on the planet you were born on. Like
yeah, for real.
it's insane to think about.
Or if they miss their target, like, you know,
Exactly.
I mean, you miss your target, you run out of fuel, you're literally, there's no gravity. You're just going to keep going in one direction forever.
Yeah.
Unless you got something to counter that. So in space, I think it's like for every action there's a reaction. So like if you disconnect, like say you were going to go out and do a spacewalk and your little tether broke and you just start floating one way,
Oh
you
my
better
god.
have a wrench or something to throw in that direction so you can start flipping back towards your ship.
Yeah, no, because
Like
your
also, bro, like
momentum
like
carries basically. It's like
Yeah,
it's just there's nothing to stop you, right? And on Earth, it's gravity or it's an object. It's just so you
yeah,
have motion, and then it's in a space where there's no gravity. There's nothing to pull you in one direction. It's just a
yep,
vacuum, and then you're just gone. Like,
yeah, dude. Like I could
it's like,
not.
bro, like, yeah, to think about it, it's like, homie, like, literally, like a whole thing with like running out of fuel. It's like, bro, and like that was especially back in like the '60s and the '70s. Like, to think about that, man, it's like, what if they didn't have if they had no other spaceship built? Do you know how long it would take for them to develop a whole other spaceship to be able to go after you?
they'd be
Like,
dead.
that
No,
would be
Yeah, dude.
insane.
there would
At
be
that point,
no.
they would just write you off. They would just write you off.
Dude, imagine if that happened though, bro. Imagine like you watch because like they had put that on national TV, right? They get up there and they get to the moon, they land, and then they can't get back. Imagine if that's how it went, bro. And you basically had that shit televised, bro. That
Yeah.
would be oh
You said that you said imagine if they had the whole thing televised. Is that
no,
what you said?
I mean it was like a national like event. Like they were basically when it launched. I think it took them like a couple days or whatever. I don't know how fucking long it took, but they basically like televise that shit for everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe again, maybe it was like it had to go through like they already recorded it and then would put it through. I don't know what fucking shit.
Well, there's a lot of theories that they never even went to the moon.
Yeah, I've heard
I know.
about that.
I was just about to
Yeah.
bring that up. Yeah, there's like hella people that don't even believe that happened. They're like,
Yeah.
well, that was back in the '60s and '70s. Like the technology was shitty back then.
The dude that did The Shining, he directed the moon landing, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, the moon landing was all written by Stephen King. Got to give props to the man himself, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I had this conversation with my other co-host Drazy. Shout out to you, bro. And you know, we had this conversation being like, "Oh yeah, I have this dude at work who literally is all into like, you know, conspiracy theories and shit like that." And he literally talks about how he like since he's like the government lies all the time, so he thinks that like a lot of shit is a lie. And like he told me he told me this thing that he thinks that like well, how do we know everything in the past literally happened? Because it's like there's no proof. And I'm like, bro, you're literally gonna tell me that every single book, every single textbook, every single documentary, every single thing that's ever been documented or said by man was all a lie? Like, dude, now you just literally you know he's 100% on that crack cocaine for that kind of shit. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. There'd be no sense to lie for that long and about that much shit, bro. Like to think about it, like, do you know how literally insanely creative you'd have to be to make up all those years of history? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, like he can believe what he wants. Like no one's gonna, not make him believe a certain thing if
Well,
he.
he's wrong. I'll say that.
Oh,
Wrong.
I know. Like, and again, like, but that's just like his opinion, and if he wants to believe that, like, he if he fucking I don't know has to have something to do with our history or like what happened with our shit, like I don't know. That comes into play, that's where he's gonna fall flat. But like for the most part, if you want to learn about the history, I think it's like good that like we have it available. But then again, yeah, it's like people like that, they most likely don't need to learn because it's like what are they gonna do if they don't they don't
Exactly,
they
man.
don't
Like, you know,
understand it,
that's
they don't, yeah.
That's why I always say if I was to time travel, I would 100% go in the future instead of the past. Because it's like you think about it, you could just read and look up everything you want about the past. So you could already know what happens in the past, but it's like the future, bro, we have no fucking idea. Like I'm sure nobody expected that we'd have like these little handheld devices that we literally be on 100 fucking% of the day. So it's like we have like dude, yeah, the future we have no idea what it could entail. But the past, it's like, yeah, like I could like go fucking read about everything that happened in the past. So it's like,
100%. I'd time travel to the past just to grab like one of our old leaders and be like, yeah, look how fucked up the world is right now.
do you know what we just went through in 2020, bitch?
Yeah, for real.
Way worse shit than you did.
We need you guys back.
Dude,
Exactly.
interesting. That would be fucking. That would fuck with the timeline more though. If they knew, maybe they'd be like,
Yeah.
It
Yo,
might
can you
be.
imagine going back in time and you
You never
gave someone
know.
the idea for like
Maybe.
Netflix or some shit?
Yeah, for real. Like,
That'd be insane. Like,
I mean,
yo,
I'm not
future.
gonna lie. I'd go back and just take credit for a bunch of things so I could be a millionaire. But
Oh,
there's,
dude, not a millionaire. Like,
have
you'd
you
be
ever-
you'd be a trillionaire come Tuesday.
It's Hot
Yeah.
Tub Time Machine is a movie like that where it basically is like the same exact
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
He invents Google.
Inventing Google, fucking like inventing the whole idea, a concept of like, yo, in the future you're gonna have this little thing where you can like upload and watch any video you want. It's gonna be called YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, or
yeah,
like,
for real.
yeah, man. Or it's kind of insane. Like, think about how like all of our parents literally grew up with things like, yo, the radio was like the most insane thing ever. Now,
Yeah.
like, radio is dead. Like, then it's like, bro, like, literally, like, yo, crew, like, me, you, and Drazy, we basically have like our own like radio station with a podcast, man.
Yeah.
We can like literally do or talk whatever the fuck we want about. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean,
Yeah, like-
it's evolved technically, you know, in a sense. Like,
Yeah,
it is gone, but
Evolution.
it's still kind of there, you know.
evolution is fucking amazing.
it
It's
doesn't just
incredible.
affect. It doesn't just affect people, dude. It affects everything.
It
like,
affects everything.
Yeah, dude. From radios to freaking walkie-talkies to U.S. or freaking satellites that can like zoom in on one person when he's wiping his butt or something, dude. Like, it's just
Mhm.
to think about, dude.
Yeah.
You got, dude. I have an Apple Watch that has a camera on it. You know what I mean? It's
Damn.
like I have a watch that has a camera on it that like I can take a selfie on my watch without even having my phone and yada yada yada, dude. It's like it's just crazy, dude. I guarantee you, like if you were to take somebody from the past and time travel and bring them here and show them everything, their fucking head would probably explode.
They would not believe. They would literally think you're on fucking crack.
Well,
They
I
would
think
not
we
believe.
talked about this in the deleted episode, which was that if you try to take a phone back to like that time period or something, like they would think you're a witch or something, bro. Like they burn you at
Yeah,
the stake.
bro,
Like
they
they
burn
wouldn't-
you.
They don't understand, bro. Like the concept of technology like this, like it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
It's so crazy to think about that back in the day. Like, isn't it so insane to think like, yeah, back in those like the days of like the pilgrims and shit like that. How it's like I'm probably like I don't know, like maybe 1500s or some shit like that, bro. It's so insane that back in that time, if you were just like the slightest bit different, they would instantly think you're like a witch trying to like kill or like a demon has possessed you, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, he's evil, go burn his bitch ass. Like, that's so crazy to think about, man.
Just
Yeah.
don't be different. Don't be born during that time period and different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I mean,
dude.
now being different is the shit. But
like
Yeah.
even back then, dude. Like it was really messed up. Like the mentally disabled and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like people with
Yeah.
autism and Down syndrome, because it's been going like they've only came to like a scientific name for that for like the past 100 years or so.
Yeah.
But like back then, dude, like if you were even the slightest bit different, you couldn't talk right, and like you
Even
you
with
had a
asylums, bro. Like somewhat
Yeah.
recently. I guess that's like 100 years ago or so, you know. But like, bro, that shit what we did in asylums with like what we thought was right with them and everything, and like
sterilization of the mentally ill. Yeah, that was fucked.
oh,
I watched a documentary on that not too long ago. Actually, is like certain mentally ill people, like schizophrenic and stuff like that. Like they would just like put them down like they were animals.
it's fucking insane.
Yeah, man, it's nuts.
So crazy. Like it's great, man, that like there's pros and cons of like what we are now. Like obviously there's a lot of like fucked up things, but like for the things that were back in the day, shit's definitely I would say is much better now than it was like way back then. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro,
Yeah.
they could like
it's so
you could have
insane.
gotten locked up for like you could have gotten like a lobotomy too if someone didn't like you in a town or some shit and like like they had some power. I'm sure you could have gotten like gotten that shit like oh that would have been bro. Thank God those places are gone.
Fucking crazy. And it's like, it's kind of insane. Like, dude, it just is like every time I watch like period pieces or shit like that, I always think about that, man. It's just like think about how I say like we're so spoiled now because like technology, everything else like is insane. It's just like I can't imagine what they must have been doing at that time. Like, I think I would go in the past just to see what the whole process of how we live a daily life back then compared to now. Like, dude, no, nowadays it's like, bro, you can easily just spend your day watching like HBO Max and shit. When it's like back then, man, like, dude, there was like basically nothing. Like, literally, I saw like it wasn't a documentary, but I think I was just reading like a thing on Google where it was like they literally like kids would like they were like to do fun shit or anything like that. Literally it was like, oh, just work, like go like plow this field or go like like fucking go hunt or like go do like that. Like that was basically like literally your whole entire like day was just like making sure you could bring food home to your family. Like there was no other like alternative besides that. Like that kind of shit, man, it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Insane.
No. I mean, we've come a long way,
Really
Yeah,
have.
for real. Like imagine your parents being like, yeah, you got done with your chores. Now you're allowed to listen to this one record we have on this record player. Like,
Oh my god.
dude,
Yeah,
like,
bro. Back in the
and then
day,
you just
record players were the shit.
and then you wear that, and then you wear that record out, and then it just stops working, and then you're back to being bored again. Like,
Oh
but I mean,
man.
back then they did have like horses and stuff. I mean, riding horses is actually really fun.
Yeah,
But
I rode a hose before. If it's your first time doing it, you won't be able to walk for 5 days. But
yeah,
it's which is what happened to me. That's my experience. Yeah, I came home,
Damn.
woke up the next morning, and I literally couldn't fucking walk. I was
Holy
like
shit.
walking like a fucking penguin, like trying to just like get to the bathroom or some shit.
yeah,
Like,
for real.
no,
No,
it's intense. It's
I
intense.
grew up on my grandpa's farm, and he had a couple horses, and I got to ride one of the biggest horses, one of the biggest horse breeds. He had a Clydesdale. It was a workhorse. It was my favorite horse. His name was Thunder. And dude, like my first time riding him, he bucked me, and I went flipping off
Ooh.
Yeesh.
on my neck, and I thought I was gonna die. But he
Oh,
yeah. So the next time, my grandpa was like, "You better show that fucker who's boss," and I'm like, "All right." So I jump on the back. Like he wasn't expecting me to do it, so like I ran up and I jumped on his back. Like, I stepped on his ladder on his back, and dude, it was just like a scene from the fucking movies where like a dude's like trying to ride a bull. Like this horse was like kicking and shit, and like I just like wrapped
no
on him as tight as I
shit.
could, and then he stopped, and that's called breaking him in. So I broke him in and showed him that I wasn't a bitch. And ever since then, that horse was my best friend, dude. Fucking
Wow.
got to
Wow.
ride him wherever and shit. Yeah, it was dope. I rode him to the store a couple times before he died, dude. That shit was
Aw.
awesome.
Damn.
Yo, crew, I'm sure everybody appreciated the all reaction. Thank you, man.
Bro,
Yeah,
that's so
for
sick.
real.
What do you mean, bro? Are you like that's so sick.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw some of that stuff in Vegas where it's like literally like because my dad he had like we lived like maybe like I don't know like 20 minutes from the strip or some shit, but we lived way up in the mountains. So literally it was like basically my entire backyard was all like acres and acres of mountains, and you could like just look outside in front my front door and see like the whole strip and shit like that. But what was so awesome is like yeah, since it was a mainly dirt road, you'd have people just walking by on their horses and like literally they'd be like, hey, what's up, man? It'd be like, yo, hope you have a nice day. Thank you kindly. Like, you know what I mean? It was like I was like, that's kind of lit. That's kind of lit.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've only rode a horse like once in my life, but like I don't remember. I was like really young. The only times I've ever rode a horse, is like in video games, bro. That's
Yeah.
I literally just stopped playing Red Dead right before this though, bro. And like that's one of my favorite fucking games. I love
Yeah,
like
bro.
It is fun.
the horses in that. I love the horses, bro. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. If you're trying to like ride horses, dude, that's not like if you even want to own a horse, dude, like you have to like change like part of your life because
Oh
like
yeah, I'm sure.
riding horses isn't just a hobby, bro.
It's
It's
a
a lifestyle.
responsibility, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, dude. Like it's
Mhm.
literally a lifestyle choice. Because
Yeah.
like, you can ride a horse literally anywhere you want, but like, you just got to be prepared for because it's not like a dog, dude. Like horses are very, very intelligent,
Yeah.
very intelligent, and
And also like that, like it's like not it's like literally like when I was like it's very intense. Like it's one of the most physical things I've ever done in my entire
Yeah.
life. Like because it's like you're controlling it with your whole body. You're controlling it with your legs. You're literally like because it's like and you also like because the first time I did it, I was like, "Yo, I don't want to fucking like." When I was like 10 years old, I was like, I don't want to hurt the horse, but like, because it's like you want him to stop, you have to like really pull hard to make him like be like, okay, I have to stop right here. Like, it's a super crazy thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But yo, man, I guess we're gonna end that right there. We actually literally are over an hour. We just literally like just got off shit, just couldn't stop talking. But
Yeah, man, we're just vibing out.
Exactly. Yo, boss, I will say it was the absolute pleasure to have you on this podcast, man. You talked to me, told so many great stories, gave such an incredible vibe, man. We literally got so into it. It was an absolute pleasure, man. We would love to have you on for another episode in the future.
100%.
Yeah, man, whenever you guys want, man, I'm available whenever. And it was a pleasure to meet you guys. And Brad, I will talk to you later. And Crew God, it was a fucking good time vibing out with you guys, gentlemen.
Awesome meeting you, man.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
yo, ladies and gentlemen, yo, we're gonna end it right there, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode this week. If you did, please make sure to literally either subscribe or follow us on Spotify. Hit those 2 bells so you never miss notification. However you listen to this podcast, we love you, and we will of course see you guys in the next one.